Ed and Rosie in the Talk Pod. And Rosie Lee, I'm going to get right to it. Tony Dungy is a huge disappointment. I was a fan. I loved him as a coach. I loved him as an analyst. This thing regarding Michael Sam, the gay football player, just a standout football player, whom Tony Dungy said he would not draft because it would be a distraction, I'm not taking him at his word. I think there's something else there. I think that quite possibly, and I don't know whether it's because his religious beliefs, and everybody has a right entitled to their own religious beliefs, but if he's a homophobe, why doesn't he just come out and say gays shouldn't be playing football?
I don't think that's it at all. I think the fact that I think what he said is right, because what he said was,
excuse me,
he only wishes the best for Michael Sam. He thinks that the fact that Michael Sam has become the first openly gay football player in the NFL is going to be a distraction. And guess what? It already is, because we are talking about this now. His point is being proven because the media are talking about it.
Yeah, because and
right now.
The media did ask him about it, but here's the point for me. If maybe he's not a homophobe, he is definitely a hypocrite, because he went to see Michael Vick in prison. He went to see him in prison. Not only that, he mentored him. He was partly responsible for bringing him back. Now, Michael Vick, who oversaw dog rings, who oversaw the killing of poor, helpless dogs, is that's one thing. And then he wants to give him a chance, but he doesn't think that he would give Michael Sam a chance because he's gay.
I don't think he said that at all. He did not say that at all. He never said that he wouldn't give Michael Sam a chance. He just said that the fact of him being the first of anything is going to be a distraction, because the first question out of the mouths of members of the media, and we are guilty, is that how does it feel to be the first openly gay football player? How does it feel to be the first openly gay football player in your first game? How does it feel? Have they treated you? How's the team treated you? It's going to be a source of conversation for at least this season. But go back for just a moment to Michael. But wait, no. Let me go back to Michael Vick, because you opened that big, wide door. Michael Vick, at the time he was sent to jail for being a dog fighter or involving himself in dog fighter, was a big name player in the NFL. And it was to the advantage of Tony Dungy to mentor him and try to help him get back to that game, because it's about money, Ed.
Michael Sam doesn't have to be mentored.
Michael Sam is an unknown entity.
Michael Sam doesn't have a problem like Michael Vick did.
But Michael Sam, I agree with you that Michael Sam does not have a problem. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, so then what?
The problem exists with the media.
Don't blame this on the media. Tony
Dungy
said it. Okay, I mean, asked, answered. If he didn't even need to answer it. He might have said, it's going to be a distraction. But if you feel that his talent is worth it, go for it. Let me go to that distraction though. Jackie Robinson was a distraction. Barry Bonds
wasn't. The people in the stands were the distraction for Jackie Robinson.
The people in the stands,
the ones that were throwing crap at him, the ones that were cursing him out, while he was simply on the field playing a game.
I agree, but if Branch Rickey would have been Tony Dungy and said, no, I'm not going to play Jackie Robinson like every other manager in Major League Baseball did at that point, Jackie Robinson wouldn't have played baseball because he was a distraction. No matter who, whether it's media.
I think that's true, but we're talking about the year 2014 here, and we're talking about massive media output.
We're
talking about all of that.
Barry Bonds. Would Tony Dungy have not tried to work with Barry Bonds, or would he have tried to work with Barry Bonds? I'll bet he would have tried to work with Barry Bonds.
I'm sure he would have, because Barry Bonds was a name player.
He was a distraction.
But listen, Michael Sam is a perfectly, I'm sure, wonderful player from whatever he drafted the way he was. I'm sure he's a perfectly wonderful player, but that has nothing to do with what Tony Dungy said, because he said he wishes that he thinks he would be great in the NFL, and he is going to be, I'm sure. But that's not his point. And he has a right to make the point. Everybody isn't going to like or understand what the meaning of being gay.
So, okay.
And a lot of people are never going to accept that being gay is normal for the people who are born
All right,
as gay.
but so that's the people's problem. That's not Michael Sam's problem. Why is Tony
let
Dungy?
Me finish. Let me finish. It's because Tony Dungy, I want to get to this point. Tony Dungy, whatever his feelings are, has a right to those feelings, as do the other people who feel the same
And
as
I
he
have
does.
the right to point out the hypocrisy in what he says and the fact
think it's
that what
I don't
he's
think it's
doing is
hypocritical.
basically homophobic. That's what it is. That's
I
what
don't
it
think
is.
so. I don't think so. I do agree, and he's made a point of saying that he is not in favor of gay marriage. There are many
Yeah.
people who aren't in favor, Tony Dungy, that is. There are many people who aren't in favor of gay marriage, but to beat them up and castigate them for not being in favor of something they don't believe in is wrong.
Well, that's fine. So he wouldn't
wrong.
draft this kid into the NFL because
he
of
did
his
not
sex.
say
That's what he
that.
said, Rosie.
He said he wouldn't draft him into the NFL. No, he didn't. He said he thinks he would be an exceptional player.
Well, no,
He
no.
doesn't-
What did he say? What did he say?
He said he would be an exceptional player,
Yes,
but he
he
thinks
said-
that he will also be a distraction
No.
because of the media.
He said no. Oh, okay. You missed the answer to the question. The answer to the question was he said he would not draft him on his team. He would not have drafted
Exactly.
him because he thought he was a distraction.
Here's what he said. He said, I was not asked, this is Tony Dungy speaking, direct quote.
This is
"I
what
was
he said
not
today,
asked-"
by the way. This is what he
I
said
know,
today, Rosie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He said, I was not asked whether his sexual orientation should play a part in the evaluation process. It should not. I was not asked whether I would have a problem having Michael Sam on my team. I would not.
Okay.
But he said it's not about merit and that the best players always make the team. He said his opinion has nothing to do with Michael Sam's playing ability.
Now wait, Rosie.
It has to do with the media.
Rosie. Now let me finish here. This was what you just read, his explanation, trying to cover his butt for what he said earlier in the week. This is the cover, and it's just all fine and well and good. But what he said directly was, when asked would he draft him, he said, no, I would not draft him onto my team because I think he'd be a distraction.
He will be a distraction. He's a distraction already. We are not even in the season,
He wouldn't draft him
and
because
he's
he's
a
gay.
distraction.
Why can't Tony Dungy be a big enough man to say, I'll take the distraction? He'd take the distraction with Michael Vick played for him.
Why can't people be honest enough to say it's okay for Tony Dungy to feel the way he does, even if you don't agree with him? I think this is why this is what's wrong with where we're at in this country.
He can do that, but he's a hypocrite.
Nobody is willing to accept people for face value. He
didn't tell us face value.
I said that's what he said.
No, he said he wasn't going to draft him because he was gay.
He didn't say he was not going to draft him because he was gay. He said
what's
he's not going to
the
draft
net
him because
result?
he would be a distraction.
He's a distraction
The net
because
result-
he's gay.
No, he's a distraction because he is the first of someone. Just like you pointed out with Jackie Robinson, he was the first black player. But
boy.
the whole thing here, my whole point about Tony Dungy is you have to give people a way of being themselves. As soon as someone says something in this world today that we don't like, we really shut them down. We close the door. We don't ever listen to anything else they have to say by way of explanation. I think that is wrong. That is really wrong.
He was allowed. We're gonna agree to disagree. He was allowed to explain himself. He said basically the right things, but he did not change the premise. And what the media that you've been knocking should have been saying was, would you draft him? And the answer would still be the same, and the reason would still be the same. He's a distraction because he's gay. A bigger man would not do that. I'm sorry. I have loved Tony Dungy. I've loved the way he coached.
Here's what he said. The final on this was, what I was asked about was my philosophy of drafting, a philosophy that was developed over the years, which was to minimize distractions for my teams. I do not believe Michael's sexual orientation will be a distraction to his teammates or his organization. But I do, however, believe that the media attention that comes with it will be a distraction. And the point that he made in that statement has been proven by the fact that we are talking about this today. And I would venture to say, Ed, and you and I will follow this for sure, that as soon as Michael Sam plays his first game, the first question out of some sports guy's face is going to be, what does it feel like being the first?
What? Is
because then why is it okay for Michael Sam?
Tony, so what?
Why is it okay for Tony Dungy not to have that?
No. Do you not think that Tony Dungy is a good enough coach that he will overcome that and put together a good team if this guy's a good player? He wouldn't draft him because he was gay.
Not about him.
That's it.
No. But see, there again, people are putting words in his mouth just like
he said. No, I'm not putting any words in his mouth. He said that.
Yeah, you did. No, he didn't.
Gosh.
He did
okay.
not.
Whoa.
He did not.
We're not
he did not say
this.
he wasn't going to draft him because he was gay. He said he wouldn't draft him because he felt it would be a distraction.
Oh man. Okay.
So that's not like saying he's gay.
Okay.
Why is that like saying he's gay?
Weird. Ed and Rosie in the Talk Pod.